This video has been inspired by one of my commenters, so thank you very much for giving me a great idea for a week where I'm not really able to film because my camera is broken. And hence this video is going to be a voiceover with, I guess, a time lapse of me painting something, so you may just do your thing. There is not much to see here unless you wanna watch me paint in high speed. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the necessity of self-knowledge in a magical practice. Knowing yourself as a concept within a magical or spiritual practice is more than knowing your name, your likes, your dislikes, your history, your values, or your goals. Knowing oneself is the most important self-development and magical work we can do. It encompasses deep knowledge of the inner workings of our ego, our minds, our desires, fears, tendencies, and protective mechanisms. Within a magical practice, this knowledge becomes deeply practical to help us distinguish the divide between where we begin and end, and where the outside world, other people, their energies, and the spirits, deities, and the divine flow touch and interact with us. In divination, this deep knowledge of the self helps us see and discern what is our own confirmation bias, projection, or intrusive thought, and what is actually a part of the divinatory message, communication, and dialogue. If you enter a ritual or divination session without this knowledge of yourself, you will never be certain about who it is you're speaking with. Is it your patron deity? Is it the plant you're sitting with? Or is it your mind just feeding you what it thinks you want to hear? The ideal state of things is to work towards being able to still your mind and rumination completely. That work is done through the practice of meditation, breath work, and teaching your mind that it does not have to produce stimuli at all times. At the same time, you must learn that not every thought it produces will be followed up on, expanded upon, or fed. Until then, let's work on recognizing the patterns in which our mind operates. What words or images does it use? What does your inner voice sound like and how does it react? What kind of thoughts does it bring? What expectations does it carry with it? When you start building an idea of this, then you can begin noticing the difference in how visions, sensations, and messages come to you when you communicate with spirits, deities, or the divine in general. Maybe those are sensations on the skin, such as warm and tingling. Maybe the images move instead of being static. Maybe the language is poetic or the tone is kind. The ego is neither a translator nor a filter. The ego and our minds are closed vessels designed to protect themselves from outside influence. They will do anything to keep us in our bubbles of comfort and perceived safety. The unknown, even if it's mere silence, is a danger to them. That means interference in ritual and divination, either through worry or expectation, or by directly or indirectly cherry-picking what seems to be the answer that affirms our own beliefs. The way to begin distinguishing between what is ours and what is communication or dialogue with a second party is to become familiar with what it looks like and feels like when we are alone in our head. We must give ourselves space to become bored without any outside stimulation, in silence, and observe what happens then. Unfortunately, we live in a world of overstimulation where boredom is a taboo. We scroll, we listen to endless streams of podcasts and music, we watch hundreds of videos. The space to be with our own thoughts is increasingly a rare commodity. Many young people have no idea what is their own thought process and what is just their brain processing the terabytes of information we are subjected to every second of the day. Every short video has to have about 5 different hooks in the first half a second. It has to be ideally 10 to 15 seconds long and feature a mid-roll hook or two. That is 36 eye-catching stimuli every minute if we watch every video offered to us to its end. If we keep mindlessly scrolling, that ramps up to 300 hooks every minute. There is no place or space to even process what we have seen, let alone have the capacity to register our own thoughts and feelings about the content we are offered. Should we find ourselves in a time where there are no longer 300 stimuli every minute, we become restless, time turns to honey, and we do not know what to do with ourselves. No wonder we depend on manuals, guidebooks, and external sources when practicing magic or divination. We are no longer used to using our own resources and do not trust that which happens in our heads because we don't know who we are. We do not know what we think. We do not know and hence have no way of knowing on our own whether the information we are receiving is legitimate communication or not. We have given away our power and agency to the new gods, and it's time to take it back. The first step to taking back the trust in your own ability to connect and receive information, or your intuition if you want, is to learn to tolerate silence. In that silence, we learn to recognize and in time control the thought processes that happen in our minds. The second step is to learn to tolerate boredom. You do not have to listen, watch, or do something at all times of the day. Take that silence you have learned to tolerate while doing things and try not doing anything for 10 minutes. Sit down in silence, close your eyes, and just exist for a while. It will probably be the most difficult thing you have done lately, but it's worth it. The third step is to learn to acknowledge a coming thought. By now, you should already have a good idea of the flavor of your thinking discussed earlier. You acknowledge the thought popping up and immediately dismiss it. Do not ruminate. Do not develop it into a train of thought. Let it go and begin to cultivate an empty mind. The fourth step is to practice meditation, where you implement all these steps and practice being open to the flow of the divine, your guides, and your deity. Now you should have the tools to be able to distinguish your thought processes from other things. You will be in control of your mind enough to have it open to receive communication and participate in a two-sided dialogue with the other side. Thank you for listening this far. Welcome to the unscripted portion of the video, or maybe the outro of this. I think this is a very important discussion to have, not only nowadays with the inundation information we are receiving, but also in terms of the broader discussion I'm trying to have here on this channel and trying to teach you to just go with the flow and go with first impressions and face value divination. That is all something that I am a big supporter of, but also in my experience, and this is maybe where I'm failing to explain, in my experience, the first thing that you have to do in order to be secure in your divination and be secure in the messages you are receiving is to reliably be able to distinguish what is your own inner voice and what is a part of the communication you're receiving. And it's something to be trained, it's something to be practiced every day, and it's not always 100% and it's not always bulletproof, but it's an important part of self-development that we do as practitioners. And part of it, of course, is shadow work and working on your own traumas and working on your own fears and impulses and triggers. And that comes with time and with practice. It's not something that you do the work and then it's finished. It's continual. This work will be always continual. Even this process that I have described, or this goal that I have described, it's still and it's always going to be a work in process that we have to work on, because we change, our mind changes, the way we think changes, we grow, we develop, we mature, and with it matures this tool that we have, which is our mind, and it will also change its language. It will also change the way it speaks to you. It will also change the things that it shows you, because you have chosen different pathways and you want and fear different things in different times of your life. So this is something that has to be cultivated at all times, all the time, every day. But I think we need to start doing that consciously as soon as possible, because this power of being in control of our thoughts and of our minds and of their contents is being taken away from us, and I do believe that it's being taken away from us by design, and we have to combat that in one way or another, and do not let ourselves be overstimulated and inundated with useless information at all times of the day and get lost and lose the touch with our own guts, our own instinct, our own intuition. And this is what we're working on here. So thank you for staying as long as you have, and let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this, how you combat this, if you have noticed this, if you avoid being overstimulated and how you do it. Maybe we can give each other tips. And I will see you in the next either voiceover or video, depending on when they repair my camera for a reasonable price. Have a nice day. Bye bye.